Hi, welcome, it's Cassie. Today we're gonna make some fake toast and fake strawberry jam. And I am so excited to share this project with you guys. I was able to partner with the coolest company, CustomSticker.com, to help me make some of the elements of this project, and I can't wait to share with you. So the first thing I'm gonna use here is a jar. I'm gonna make a jar of jam. And this is just an empty garlic jar, the minced garlic that you get in the produce section. So I'm not going to use the lid for this project because I want to be able to see the jam on the top. So the first thing we'll need to do is get this jar prepared. So my jar is it's small, but it's bigger than I want to use that much product. So I'm going to put a toilet tissue roll inside to take up some of the space so that my jam can just go around the edge. So I'm going to mark where I want to cut this, the height that I want to cut this with a pen or pencil. So I'm going to do mine just about even with the top of my jar, maybe a little bit lower. I'm kind of going to make the jam come up over the top. So then I'm just going to cut my toilet tissue roll right where I made that mark. And before I glue that in, I'm going to put my sticker on this. And this is the perfect time for me to tell you about today's video sponsor, CustomSticker.com. So they made these awesome custom stickers for me, and I designed them and just sent them the design, and they were able to they made this matte finish one and this glossy finish one, and it says from the fake bakery of Cassie, Smallwood. So this is so cool. If you wanted to sell something like this in like your Etsy shop or something, you could actually have your brand on this thing that they're going to display in their house, and it's not in a cheesy way. So they made these for me, and then they also made these little custom thank you for supporting my small business stickers, and you can just put these like on the outside of your packaging if you sell any products. Or if you wrap your products up, you could put the little sticker to close the wrapping or just as a decoration on the wrapping. Super cute. And then they also made this wine bottle label. I did a Christmas and a Halloween one. And you can see this one right here is the matte finish, which looks really cool with this kind of old paper. And again, it has my name on it. So when I give this as a gift to someone, they can see that it's from me. This one I also designed, and it has my name on it as well. And this is the glossy finish one. Hopefully you can see the difference there. This one's like super shiny, and then this one is like a more of a dull finish, but it feels slick. It doesn't feel like paper. And that's the awesome thing about these, is that they're waterproof, anti-tear, and wear resistant. So you could use them if you sold body products. You can use them on your packaging and not have to worry about anything smearing or tearing or rubbing off. CustomSticker.com also makes wall decals, magnets, holographic stickers, window clings, vinyl lettering, and buttons, and other things too. They have so many different things that they can make. There's a phone number to call if you have questions or need any help, and they're like the sweetest people to deal with. And they have a simple design tool, so you can actually design your own products on there, your own stickers on there, and you can also upload your own design if you make a design somewhere else. So thank you to CustomSticker.com for sponsoring this video. And let's go ahead and attach the label. So for this one, I think I'm going to use the matte sticker. And so here's something else cool is that they have these little slits on the back. And so it makes it so easy to get the sticker off. You're not like fiddling with the edge of the sticker trying to get it from the backing. And I'm just going to put this right onto my jar, hopefully straight. Look at how cute that is. I'm so excited. There's a link on the screen that you can use for customsticker.com, as well as in the description you'll find links to their website and their custom sticker designer. Once I got this tissue roll inside of the jar, I realized I wasn't going to have enough space to get my silicone in there, so I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to cut up the side and then I'll roll it up smaller until I think that there's enough space that I can easily get my silicone inside. So I think that'll work. So I'm just going to hot glue this to the size that I want it. And now I'm just going to put some hot glue on the bottom and then glue it right inside, right in the center. Okay, now the other thing that I want to do right now before I move on is to make a top for this so that I can put the jam on the top, and that'll save some product as well. So I'm taking a piece of poster board. You can use like a cereal box or any kind of cardboard that you have, and I'm just gonna trace around the top of my jar. I'm gonna cut around this, but I'm just gonna cut inside of it a little bit because it needs to fit inside of the jar. And what I traced around was the outside of the jar. Okay, so that's how it will sit, but first we gotta put the silicone inside. Okay, so I have here 100% silicone, and I'm just gonna put some of that into a disposable bowl. I'm making quite a bit here because I want to make sure I have enough that I don't have to mix up another batch. So I want to make sure I have enough to fill around the edge of my jar and on the top. This stuff really smells, so you may want to wear a mask when you're working with it. You may want to wear gloves because it's very sticky if you get it on your hands. So to color this strawberry, I'm going to use red and scarlet from my alcohol ink set. And I'm just putting some in, and then I'm going to mix it and see how the color looks. There's really no set amount. It depends how much silicone you're using, and so I can already tell this is not going to be enough because see how clear it looks. It's not the right color at all yet, so I'm going to put quite a bit more in. Now I've got my color right, so I'm going to put some little seeds in this because I want it to look like real strawberry jam. So I have some of these, they're like tiny, tiny micro beads, and I'm just going to put a little bit of those into my jam to be the seeds from the strawberries. These ones I have are gold. That's just what I had. You could use any light color, yellow, white, and I'll try to find some of these that I can link to for you. And they do have seedless jam, so you don't need to use those if you don't want. I'm just showing you the options here of what you can do. So to fill the jar with the jam, I think it's going to be a little bit challenging to get around this paper towel roll. So what I'm going to do is use a sandwich bag, and I'm going to put my silicone in there, and then I'll be able to just squeeze it around the edge. Now you want to keep some of this aside because we're going to make the toast, and you want to be able to put a little jam on your toast too. So keep some in your bowl or your bag so that you can put it on your toast. Okay, so now I've got it in my bag. I'm just going to cut off one corner of the sandwich bag, and then I'm just going to push it toward that corner. And then I'm just going to squeeze it down in there. So now I'm just pushing it down with my popsicle stick and kind of smearing it on the edge of the glass. This way the whole entire area around the toilet tissue roll doesn't have to be filled in. So basically you're just painting the inside of this jar with your jam mixture, silicone mixture, to just coat the inside. So you can see mine's not fully filled in, so save yourself some product that way. And then because the silicone will hold this on, I'm just going to put a little bit of silicone on the top of my tissue roll. You can also use hot glue, but mine already had some of the silicone on there, so I figure why not just use that, right? And then I'm just going to press my cardboard on. Okay, so now I'm going to put my jam on the top of my jar here. So there's how that looks. And then to finish this off, I'm going to tie a ribbon around the edge of the jar just to make it look cute and accentuate my sticker from customsticker.com. And then if you want to make it hold still, you can just put a little dot of glue right behind the bow just to keep it from moving around. Okay, so now we have to make the toast. So just condition your clay. And then to this, I'm going to add some antique white from Apple Barrel. Now mine's going to be like white bread, but if you wanted to make some like whole wheat bread or something like that, you could use a darker color like classic caramel or territorial beige. So just mix your color in really well. Okay, so once you have all the color mixed in really well, just roll this into a ball. Okay, and then I'm going to take my clay rolling pin and I'm just going to roll this out to the size and thickness that I want. Okay, so I'm going to use my 8-inch clay blade and I'm just going to cut this into a like square shape. But I'm only going to cut on 3 sides right now. Okay, and then see how this is kind of rounded. So that's basically how bread kind of looks on the top anyway. So I'm just going to leave that edge like that. And then these corners that are pointy, I'm just going to kind of round them up a little bit because bread's not that pointy on the corners. Okay, so now on the top, I want to make like, you know how sometimes it'll have like a dip there where it goes round and then a dip and then round again. So I'm going to do a little dip like that. And kind of press out some indentation there. And then I'm just going to make some other little kind of cracks on the top as well. So as you can see, I have everything all decorated here, but I kept looking at this bread and thinking something about the shape doesn't look right. And then I realized that I didn't put any indentations here to make this like top part kind of go over like it would when it bakes and goes over the edge of the pan. So mine's pretty dry. I'm probably going to have to cut those out, but I wanted to show you. So just make with your toothpick, just press in right there on the sides and you'll get that nice bread look. Okay, so that's the basic shape there. So now we need to texture on this. So I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and I'm just going to start like picking and scraping at this. And go pretty much all the way to the edge, because you know you have the crust, but it's such a very small amount of the edge that you don't need to really leave much there. And go in different directions, because if you go all in the same direction, then it gets like lines. And see the difference up here, how it's starting to look more like a bread texture, where down here it's just lines. Like you just have to keep going over it and over it until it starts getting that texture that you want. Now we need to make our color for the crust and for the toasted part. So I'm going to use Apple Barrel Territorial Beige. And I'm putting equal parts of all of these colors. So then Apple Barrel Harvest Orange is the next color I'm using. And then Apple Barrel Yellow is the last color. So we want to dry brush on this color. So just get a lot of the paint out of your brush. And then we're going to go around the edge. So I'm not going to do this color inside of any of these little dips, because I'm actually going to do those with a little bit lighter color, which we'll mix up in a minute. So just go around the whole edge. Oh, I forgot to say, mine is getting displayed with the back up against the surface, so I didn't do both sides of my, I didn't texture both sides of my bread, but you, if you want to, feel free to do both sides. Okay, and then I just want to make sure that I can see a little bit of this right around the edge, because you know you can kind of see the crust when you look at the side of bread. So just make sure you can see a little bit of that. Not very much, just a tiny bit. We're going to use the same color to toast the bread. So again, you want your brush to be pretty dry. And we're just going to lightly go over this, the textured surface. Now, I will say, be sure you get enough all the way around the edge if you're going to put jam on this, because when I did my example one, I didn't do much toasting around the edge, and then when I put the jam on, you couldn't even see that it was toasted bread. It just looks like regular bread, which is fine. It's still cute, but I wanted toasted bread, so. Okay, and then to do those little crevices up here that I was talking about, I'm going to just take a little bit of my mixture that I have there, and I'm going to add a tiny touch of antique white. Just to give a little color variation. And then I'll just go into those little spots. Okay, so now the last thing that we need to do is just spread some jam on here. So I have some of my jam still in my bowl, and I'm just going to put it on with a popsicle stick and spread it around how I want, just like I would with regular jam. And I'm actually, for this one, not going to spread it out so far so that you can see more of that toasty bread look. So there's the toast and jam, and there's the little strawberry preserves. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you again to customsticker.com for sponsoring this video. I hope you guys go check them out because they're amazing. And I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching and crafting with me today. And I will see you next time.